friends, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a card for you guys using the brand new You Are Sublime stamp set from Lawn Fawn. And with that I'll also be using Mermaid for You and Fantastic Friends. I've stamped my images out on some Copic friendly cardstock with Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to be coloring with my Copic markers today. I'm starting with my little scuba diver, and I just want to color in his skin really quick with E50, E51, and E53. I'm using E53 for the shadows and then blending out with the E51 and then the E50 for my highlight. And then I'm also coloring in these two little pebbles with the E53 and E51. For his wetsuit, I'm using W5, W7, and W9. I'm going to start with that W9 and do the shading on the hood part of his wetsuit. Just being really careful to color all around that breathing apparatus so I don't get any dark on that. And then I will add some shadow under his arms and alongside his body, between his legs and under his belt and at the base of his flippers, and just, you know, add that shadow there, so it's going to make his wetsuit look nice and shiny when it's all done. So then I'm coming in with the W7 and bringing that color towards the center, leaving plenty of room for the highlight because that's what's going to have that, you know, kind of shiny effect. And then I'll fill in all the rest with the W5. And I apologize if I don't get all the technical terms for the equipment correct. If my brother were watching, he'd be able to tell you all this stuff because he is a diving instructor and, you know, he goes out weekly and does this kind of thing, but I just don't know all the right names for everything. I'm sorry. He actually also has a YouTube channel with some of his dives on it, so if you're interested in checking that out, I'll link it in the description bar below. For the submarine, I took away the W9 and added in the W1 and W3. What my brother likes to do is dive shipwrecks in Lake Erie, so since I didn't have a ship that I could put in this scene, I decided to do a submarine wreck. So I'm starting with that W7 down towards the bottom and just adding some shading with that, blending upward with the W5. And I'm just going to continue going darkest to lightest towards the top, because the top would be the part where the light from up above would hit the most and the bottom would have the most shadow. So I'm just going to shade darkest to lightest from the bottom up. I blended upward with that W3 and also shaded the inside crook of that periscope. And then I'm going to finish the top edge with the W1, just making sure to color over that transition really nicely so I have a seamless blend. I had left those back fins and the propeller without color because I wasn't sure if I wanted to add a pop of color in that area, but I decided to just color it with the same shades. So I'm using the W3 and W1 for the propeller blade, and then I'll use the W7 and W5 for those little fins. I forget what they're called, but anyway, you guys know what I mean. And I added just a little more shadow as well. I felt like the dark kind of got lost and I wanted to accentuate that bottom edge. So I'm just blending that out with the W5 once again. I'm also going to be coloring my rocks with those warm grays. I'm starting with that W7 and laying in some shadows. I want to make sure that the rock comes out quite a bit darker than the submarine since they're going to be on top of each other. So I am being a lot more heavy-handed with my darker colors. I'm blending out with the W5 and just saving a little bit of room for the W3. And once I fill in all of that and the little rocks down in front of it, I'm also going to blend out the smaller rock up above with the W5. And then I'm going to go back in and do some dot detail on those rocks just to give them some texture. I want them to look a little bit more natural, so I'm starting with that W7 and then I'll add a few in with the W5 and I'll also come in with the W3 and just kind of give it that stone look. Next I'm going to bring in some blue grays. I'm using BG11 and BG13. I added a little of that BG13 to the bottom right edge of the submarine windows, and then I'm also adding some to my longer fish up above. And then I'll blend out my submarine windows with the BG11. I am not taking it all the way. I'm leaving just a little white highlight at the top left edge of those windows, but I will color in the entire fish with the BG11. For my red combo, I'm using R22, R24, and R29, and I'm going to color in his air tank and the mouthpiece of his mask with the red, and then I'm also going to color in the lobster. So I'm starting with that R29 and doing my shadows with that shade. And then I will blend with the R24, just leaving a little bit of room for the highlight on the air tank since it's behind his back mostly, so it would be a little bit darker, but I'll leave more area for that R22 on the lobster's body since he's kind of front and center there. So I'm just going to finish up coloring him in completely, making sure to go over those edges so that I have a nice smooth transition. And then I will color in the rest of his air tank and then bring in those same three colors to do the mouthpiece as well. So just a little R29 at the bottom and then R24 and R22. I went back to my W1 to color in the rest of the scuba diver's equipment, his mask and the hose leading to his air tank. And I also am going to do his little belt as well, but I did that off camera. I'm going back to my BG11 to color in the mask so that it looks like it's behind glass. And then I'm going to bring in G02, G03, G05, and G19. And I'm going to use those shades to color in my eel. So I've got G19 down towards the bottom. I'm blending up with the G05 and finishing his body with the G03. There wasn't enough contrast for me, so I did go back in with the G19 and blended that out with the G05 and then a little bit on the edge of the G03. I didn't go completely over it again so that there's almost like a fourth shade where it was lighter at the top edge. And then I went over the fin with the G02 and then added in a little YG03 just to give it a little bit more of a yellow tone to have a little more contrast from the body. I'm going to color in my seaweed with that YG03 and then I'll add a little dot of dark with the G19 towards the base of the leaves and then blend that out with the G03. Just all the way down and just still leaving a little bit of that yellow green showing through. Then I'm going to take my G19 and use that for my darkest for this plant here, adding quite a bit of that because I wanted there to be a difference between that and the seaweed. So just blending that out with the G05 and finishing with the G03. The next combo I'm bringing in is YR00, YR01, and YR02. I'm starting with the YR02 and adding some shading to this coral and the conch shell, and then blending up with the YR01 and finishing with the YR00 for the highlight. And moving just a couple shades darker, I'm bringing in the YR04, YR07, and YR09 to color in my angelfish, starting with the YR09 at the bottom edge and blending upward with the YR07 and finishing with the YR04. I'm coloring all my fish as if the darkest is at the bottom and the lightest is at the top because that's how I believe they'd be underwater since the light source would be up above on the surface. For the stripes on the angelfish, I'm using B21, B23, and B26. And I'll also use those same three shades to color in the school of fish plus the extra little tiny one that's up above. And I forgot to add that B26 to one of those little fish, but it's fine. They're so tiny, I don't think anybody's going to notice in the end. For the rest of the images, I decided to go back and use some of the same colors that I've used previously. Sometimes I like to limit my color palette. I just think that it makes your card have a more cohesive look, not to have too many colors, and since I already had quite a bit, I didn't want to introduce any more. So I went back to my warm gray combo to color in that larger fish's body, and I'm using my red combo to color in his face and his fins. I decided that I wanted to carry a little pop of red down in the bottom right corner of my card, so I colored in the propeller blades right over top of the gray, and then I used my blue combo to color in that last little shell, and now I can trim all of these out with the matching dyes. For my background, I'm using 4 shades of Distress ink. I'm using Antique Linen, Blueprint Sketch, Lucky Clover, and Peacock Feathers. And I'm going to start at the bottom with the Antique Linen. I'm turning my card base, or my focal panel rather, on its side just to make it nice and easy. And I'm kind of doing a half moon shape. I wanted there to be kind of a curve to the scene as I'm creating it. So I'm going to sponge on some of the Antique Linen down at the bottom to be the sand, and then I will add the Blueprint Sketch right over top of that to be my next layer of the deep blue sea. I'm using Bristol Smooth Surface cardstock because the Distress inks blend beautifully on the vellum coated surface, but it does take a little bit more effort to build up the color, so I do have to go back and forth quite a few times to get the look that I want. As I'm moving up the panel, I'm making sure to blend the colors really well in the transition area because I want it to be a nice smooth blend. So I will go back and forth between the blue and green shades. I'm not as worried about it at the bottom with the Antique Linen because I already know that most of that is going to be covered up with the images in the final card. So now I'm adding that Peacock Feathers towards the top. I'm adding it pretty heavy-handedly over top of the Lucky Clover, and then right at the top I'm going to get really light to let that fade off, so that can kind of be like the light at the top of the surface of the water. I'm going to go back over each one of those transition areas one more time until I'm happy with the way that they fade into one another. And then once I'm completely satisfied, I will grab my Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer and I'm going to spritz on some water. I'll give that a couple of squirts to get some different size droplets and then let that soak in for just a few seconds and blot that off with a paper towel, and that's going to give it a really great bubble texture. Once that panel has dried completely, I'm going to go in with some Versamark Onyx Black ink and stamp my sentiment that says, "Hope you have a sublime birthday." And I did stamp that twice to get a really bold impression. While I have my Misty out, I'm also going to stamp the inside of my card. I'm using Lawn Fawn's Blue Jay ink to stamp a fish and a little trio of bubbles and the best fishes sentiment. I die cut my focal panel with the Lawn Fawn Stitch Rectangle Stackables to give it a nice stitching detail all along the edge, and then I'm going to adhere that down to my card front with some Tombow Mono liquid glue. Once I have that down, I can start to arrange my pieces on the card front. I'm going to use a combination of liquid glue and foam tape. So the submarine I added flat to the card, and then I popped the large stone over top of that with foam tape. And that's going to add some dimension and give me an area where I can tuck some of my seaweed and ocean plants down behind. And that's going to give me that look that submarine has been submerged for quite some time, so our scuba diver can be, coming down to explore. So I'm going to add a few little seashells here and there. I added that one with some foam tape to give that some dimension, create some depth in the scene in that little corner. And then on the left, I'm going to add that smaller little stone and the coral. And the lobster is also going to be popped up with foam tape. The way that I usually do it is the things that I want to draw your eye to first are the things that I'm going to pop up with foam tape because you're going to notice them, and then the things that are in the back that are just glued flat are going to look like they're farther in the distance, so your eye is going to actually travel through the scene, and it's going to create that illusion that the scene goes on beyond what you can see. I also made sure to really integrate that sentiment by surrounding it with fish. And as a final embellishment, I'm going to add a little bit of my Spectrum Noir clear glitter overlay pen. This adds just a very subtle little bit of shine, which I think is going to add to the scales of the fish. So I think it'll be fine on a masculine card. And that is going to complete our card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I kind of lifted that to the light, so hopefully you could catch that. And there's another peek at the inside as well. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have your support. Here's 2 extra videos with an under the sea theme, so those can hopefully tide you over and provide more inspiration until the next video. Until then, I hope you all have an amazing day. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye-bye.